right, and welcome to another episode of Sparring Sessions. I'm here with Big Will, my co-host as usual, and we got a special guest, UFC Genie.
The man, the
Genie,
myth.
welcome
Genie
on.
alert, Genie alert.
Genie alert. How you guys doing? Will, we'll start with you.
Doing all
Everything
right,
good?
man. I'm live from the Tesla, man. I'm
Live
doing
from
all
the
right.
Tesla. Gonna start like a comedians in cars, but for MMA podcast.
Yeah, man, no
Genie,
doubt.
thanks
Starting
for
the
coming
trend.
on. Is that an Irish flag or is that a Nigerian flag behind you?
Oh, it's an Irish flag. Yeah, it's an
Irish flag.
Oh, dude, it'd been so funny if it was a Nigerian flag.
Nigerian nightmare.
Oh my
Love it.
God.
So we are here to talk bets for this upcoming fight card this Saturday, UFC Fight Night, Adesanya versus Imavov. Predictions, that's a different show. This is strictly bets. Bets, leans, props, parlays, whatever you want. First, though, we do have to start with a betting recap from UFC 311. It's been a few weeks. I figured we'd do a little recap since there's no UFC last weekend. I don't think you're going to like this one, Will.
It was a rough week for me, man.
Neither of us did phenomenal, but
I
Will,
did a
you
lot worse
had
than you.
Carpenter plus 3.5. That was close. That was 1 point away. I think.
Controversial in some people's eyes.
Controversial. I thought it was 29-27 or 29-28 for Bekov. You had Holland money line and Guskov KO. Oh, Guskov KO.
That's
Dude,
tough.
it was right
That's
there,
tough.
man.
That's tough.
That was tough. I also had a substantial wager on Guskov by KO. That was not fun.
I didn't do good bets that night. I had Rinya decision. I had Reese money line. I had the under 1.5 in that Barcelos Talbot fight.
Yeah.
Jamal Hill.
Hill, man, that one got me too, man.
I hit two bets that night: Grant Dawson decision and RDR submission.
I did have RDR submission.
That's the kind of card that you kind of do shit on. I try to go a little lighter on pay-per-views as it is. My laptop just turned off. That's great. And I think those obscure fight nights, man, that are the ones that you can really load up on, especially when there's unknowns and value lines and whatnot. I think that's a lot better money to be made on those cards.
We'll talk about a few this weekend, upcoming in a sec. Round my recap out, I had Nakamura and Almeida. Not great. Prochazka Hill under 1.5. I thought that line was so good. Minus 190. Perez plus 3.5 came through for me. My girl, twerk queen of the UFC,
future champion.
Yeah. Her and Jordan Levitt should get together. Have a UFC twerk baby.
Oh my God.
They're gonna get put on a card together. I bet.
Aforementioned RDR by sub. So not great, but that being said, we don't need to spend too long on the losses. We'll move on to this fight night headlined by Israel Adesanya and Nasruddin Imavov. Watch our predictions podcast for a little more of a breakdown, get some of the fights, get Big Will and I's predictions. But this is strictly bets. So even if you're picking, there's a few people, I'm picking them, but I'm betting their opponent. And we'll get to that in a little bit. See the ticker down there. Genie,
I tell people that often. I'm sorry. I just
go ahead.
Sometimes it's like brain vomit. You gotta get it out. That's what I tell people all the time. I'm like my picks and my bets are two different things. Like
Exactly.
they're not one and the same. A lot of people don't get that.
Oh yeah, so many people in my comments, man. It's tough.
Genie, you are the guest. We're gonna start off with you. We'll mention some value plays later, but these are your best bets. Give me somewhere between 2 and 5 of your favorite bets from this weekend.
Listen, I'm super high up on Jasmine Jasudavicius, man. I think she's a really good talent. Not been impressed with Moira Bueno Silva recently. I'm liking Jasmine minus 3.5, plus 100.
Plus 100.
Can you requires 130-27 or a finish. I think she gets that.
Alrighty. I like it. You'll hear a little bit about that from me later. Love it.
Want all my best bets right now?
Yeah, we'll run through.
So I'm also liking the Vinicius Oliveira point spread. You get plus 3.5 there. You know, I see it going the distance. I see it being a closer fight. And I don't think he's going to get 30-27 by Saeed. I don't see that happening. I think it's going to be a pretty close fight. Vinicius probably takes a round, maybe the first round, because he's going to come out swinging. I think that's a good one. Plus 3.5, you get minus 150 on that one. Another one, we got Pavlovich Rosenstrike. Now, I understand being weary of betting on Pavlovich. I'm not betting on Pavlovich, but I'm definitely betting on the under. I'm definitely betting on this under. It's minus 188 under 1.5 rounds. So it is like a little juiced line, but there's value there still. And I'm telling you, this is ending in the first round.
I gotta ask. We were chatting a bit off air. Are you worried at all that both of these gentlemen are coming off decisions? Rosenstrike coming off, what was that, 4 rounds versus Gaziv before that?
Yes. I think that helps my case here. Pavlovich is going to want blood, and Rosenstrike, this is going to be a firefight. These guys are like, Pavlovich comes out swinging fucking overhands. Like, this is not going the distance. This is not going over. The Gaziev fight, he's not. We just learned like he's not that good, you know. Pavlovich, he's good. He beats these
too soon. Too much too soon.
Too much too soon. Absolutely. We'll talk about Gaziev later. I will talk about that fight later. I don't hit the under. Let's hear it.
My last bet, we got MVP plus 3.5, minus 150. See, these point spreads I'm taking, I'm praying these fights go the distance. I'm pretty confident that they do go the distance.
You're a fan of those point spreads, man.
Those point spreads, they do me well, man. They're good.
A lot of the times I do like the point spreads, especially if you're thinking somebody inside the distance. Usually you get it pretty close to the inside the distance, and I like that as kind of a hedge. Interesting picks. I like a few of them. I'm going to disagree with a few of them in a bit, but it's not my turn. Big Will, what do you got for me?
Right. One, I don't know what the line is. The line hasn't been released yet, but one line that's been barking at me that I'll probably take when it releases is Jamal Pogue's significant strikes. That could be, and I might do a combined one. One thing I like to do is when I know guys have a good amount of volume. I think Pogues and Hamdi both have a good amount of volume for heavyweight and not like the most power. I think that they could both get well above like 60 significant strikes on each other, and you can I don't know, in DraftKings, if you're in that market, you can ladder combined significant strikes for fighters, and I think that's a place that's really good to attack. I also think Pogues wins. Pogues money line is something that I'm targeting. I think he'll be able to stop the wrestling. I think Hamdi falls in love with his hands a little bit, and um he got on top of
Dontel
what
Mays.
his name? Dontel Mays a couple times, which isn't that impressive. Not many people have been able to get on top of Pogues um and keep him there, like Thomas Peterson. He's a pretty good wrestler for MMA, and he wasn't able to do that. Um, Another one that I'm targeting is Bogdan Grad moneyline. I'm
I like
a
that.
fan of his style. Um, I think Lucas Alexander always seems to make the wrong decision in pivotal moments in the fight, and I think a guy like Grad that is a dog. I think he thrives in the brawls, for better or for worse. But I like his upside to get a finish on Lucas. But I'm gonna take him money line, and Dax, we've known each other for some years now. The infinite money glitch. You know what the infinite money glitch is. You know it. You know this is not just for a clip on a reel on Instagram. This is the infinite money glitch. You see a Terrence McKinney fight. First of all, you bet the under, and second of all, you bet the under half a round.
We love it. We've hit so many. Oh my God. What did we get that one? Him versus Perez ZM. I think it was plus 800 under half a round or something like that.
Insane. Something insane. I think it's only plus 200 because the books have caught on.
It
I know
doesn't matter.
some books will have, laddered 60 seconds, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. If you can get 4 minutes, I think that's a good bet. 3 minutes is a good bet. 2.5, I wouldn't even worry. Um, I think McKinney's probably gonna get a finish in round one, but the under should be pretty good. His chin's not there, so I think that's
Yeah. Heads
something
of it.
that's of value.
3-year
And then
layoff.
yeah, and he's old, man.
Yeah.
He's not impressive. I wouldn't be surprised if he got his back taken because McKinney's a damn good wrestler and he can grapple people really well. Like look at what he did to Ferguson, like you said.
Exactly.
And lastly, I'm big on Mike Davis. Mike Davis money line for me.
Awesome. I'm going to agree. I'm going to disagree. Luckily, we get to hear it now. I'm going to go. I do like the Thomas Peterson significant strikes. I think it might be a little lower. I think it might be or not Thomas Peterson, Jamal Pokes you were talking about. I think it might be a little lower. If you can get it at like 45 ish, even money, I would definitely take that. The heavyweight fights, you tend to see them the significant strikes, especially two wrestlers. It's not that high usually. That's not one of my bets, but still advice. That being said, I am going Hamdy. He's one of my best bets this week. I think Jamal Pokes might try to wrestle a little bit. Not a good idea against the Greco-Roman Olympic, well, not champion, but Olympic Greco-Roman wrestler.
Participant.
I do like him. I think he can make it grimy too. I think, but beneath all that, I don't want to call it blubber, but beneath all that skin are some good muscles. I think he can make it grimy. And I like his power. I wouldn't rely on the power, but I think if it's a close fight, the guy who has power, I'm going to pick more often than that. I don't know. I think he's just better in general. I don't rate Jamal Pokes super highly at heavyweight.
How is Hamdi looking physically? I'm not up to date on the Hamdi Instagram, so
he is coming back from a suspension, right?
Yeah, he's coming off the
drugs.
secret juice. 2 years secret juice.
Does that weigh into your pick, Dax?
It doesn't make me feel. I'm not dumping my money into him. I'm not dumping
Pogues
into
played
him.
spoiler, man.
He has played spoiler.
I was on the Peterson. I think we were all on the Peterson side. Not too long. When was that? What, like a year ago? A year and some change back. It probably was what? Probably almost a year around this time. Maybe like February or something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, this is kind of a gut pick. You know me. I also love a good Olympic wrestler. So I like the line. I got it at I got it at plus 105. I think it's at minus 110 right now. Again, not dumping into Hamdi. No Diddy. Davis. Big on Davis this week. I am huge
I'm gonna do a Booker T. No, you did not just say that.
That's crazy.
Mike Davis is he's a phenomenal fighter. I think if he fought regularly, he could be top 15. He just doesn't fight. That's the thing. It's been a year. It was a year before that. I think he's going to win. I think he's going to disappear for another year. That being said, he's the better striker. I think he can sub him, sub ZM as well. I'm big on Davis. Not too much to say here, honestly. He's just the better fighter.
Dax, I want to say this. If Ferris DM didn't just come off that huge win against Matt Frivola, what do you think this line would be?
I think plus 200, plus 250. Davis, I don't know. The books haven't caught on to him for some reason. He was minus one something in his fight against Natan Levy. He's a phenomenal fighter.
Yeah, he is damn good.
Peterson, plus 275. Genie, you're not going to like this one. The world's biggest Shamil Gaziev fan, but I think Thomas Peterson can make it a little grimy. I listened to him an interview with some of his sparring partners, Top Turtle podcast, shout out. and they're talking about incredibly up in their cardio since the Mick Parkin fight. I think he lost. Upping his cardio, fighting like it's 5 rounds every day in the gym. I think he's going to tire Shamil out. I would bet, besides Muhammad Usman, I would bet any UFC heavyweight at plus 300 against Shamil Gaziev, especially now that Josh Parisian is in fact out of the UFC.
Hey, maybe in a 5-rounder, man.
Next up, Said Nurmagomedov. Everybody seems to be on Lockdog this week, and it's bringing Said's number down. I'm not super sold on Lockdog. I think he's super exciting, but his wins you can kind of poke holes in. Only has 2 wins, has some recent losses to some guys who are not as good as Said Nurmagomedov. I think it's just a value play. I'd put it like minus 250, minus 300 Said if I was making the line, so I like it. And then I have a parlay of Jasmine Jasudavicius. Is that anywhere near correct?
Jasudavicius.
Yeah. Sure.
Jasudavicius, some people
Jasmine,
say. Yeah.
I have her parlayed with Terrence McKinney, Demir Hadzovic under 1.5. I am also playing the various unders, but that parlayed gets you at about minus 112. I think that's
like that a lot.
Slam dunk.
I want to say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just before we end this here, I think Jasmine's style really is really good for women. The way she can grind them out and wear on them and inflict damage. So I really like that pick. I see a lot of people just like Loke Dog. I see people targeting Myra Bueno Silva, which is she's an attractive underdog. I get it, but I think Jasmine's style will get her there. And I think for the people, this will give us an extra post here, breaking the fourth wall. But I think we give the people a sparring sessions parlay between us 3.
Ooh.
Each of us, put up a pick.
1 leg each.
My hands are off right now, so one of you guys are gonna have to input them into the calculator and see what those odds are. But each of us give us, it can be as conservative as you want. I don't give a damn because I'm gonna start it off with Terrence McKinney's fight under 1.5.
You bastard!
I'm under 1.5 rounds.
Under 1.5, yeah.
All right.
Who am I going? I am gonna go.
Thunder, man.
I'm gonna go right back to it. I don't want to create the exact same parlay that I just made, but I'm gonna add Jasmine.
Okay, cool.
Who you got, Genie?
I'm gonna round it out, and I'm gonna pick Bogdan Grad, and we're gonna rely on this newbie. We're gonna rely on this newbie here, so I punch that in, and we get plus 268.
Plus 268. I like it. We'll have to make this a thing.
I'm down with that.
Especially if it hits.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Wonderful. And last but not least, super quick here. We've already eaten up 19 minutes of your time, but I want to talk about a few value plays. We don't need to go in depth. I just wanted to mention a few things that either you don't have a line for yet, you weren't 100%, maybe you like it if it were a better line, you thought about it but didn't want to make it your best bet. Super quick. I'll start us off, go in reverse order. I don't have a line for it yet. If you look on the, I don't want to name anybody, but the pick higher or lower parlay betting sites. Sean O'Malley's a big sponsor or actor for one. You can see Jasmine Jasudavicius, her takedown's at 1.5 on there. If you can find that anywhere close to minus 115, minus 120, you got to smash that over. She's getting a few takedowns on Myra Bueno Silva. Myra Bueno Silva, notorious at flyweight, not a good takedown defender at all. Wasn't super phenomenal at bantamweight. Now she's getting sucked out 10 pounds.
Wasn't she a flyweight at some point earlier in her UFC career?
Not too long ago. She went 2-3 as a flyweight.
And her gas tank was worse.
Worse.
At 25?
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
She's getting sucked 10 pounds out of her gas tank. That being said, Jasmine inside the distance plus 550, same kind of vein. Awfully sub plus 1,000.
Ooh.
Kind of like that. And then I don't know. I like Biggie Boy. Not gonna necessarily play it at this number. Maybe I look for a prop or something, but I like Biggie Boy.
I wonder what the line is for that fight to end by knockout in the first round. That's like that's like a FanDuel line or something like that.
Well, I look it up. Will, why don't we get some of your value plays?
I think something that comes to mind is Gaziev in round 3 or decision. I think they're gonna strike it out, and I think another one of those could be that there's significant strikes for that fight. Um, and I don't have the odds written down here, but another one is Brogdon grab by finish. I think that's a really good play to have. That's definitely not something
Is that
that I
plus
think
100?
it's plus 200
Yeah.
for a finish. I like that a lot. Suit. I also want to see what Pogues and Hamdi's like significant strike ladder is, because I could see like 120, 130, 140 combined for those guys, and that's gotta pay plus 200, 350, something like that. Um, and I'm gonna go with you. I also like Jazz the Vicious finish.
Yeah.
That's kind of giving me the Green Goblin mask. I like that a lot.
Plus 550.
Help me out here. What's Naimov by finish?
Naimov by finish is him by KO is plus 215. Him by finish is
170.
plus 165.
Yeah, I like Naimov by finish. That's a nice line.
Sweet. Alrighty. Love those. Some of those. Genie, what do you got? Value plays.
I like Gaziev by decision, plus 250. It's a good line. They're sensing a KO on the books. It's plus 110 for the KO. I kind of see it going all three. It's a risky pick, but that's good odds.
Blob himself.
And yeah, man, Peterson got that farmer chin, man. I don't know. I could see him getting put away with like a body shot, but I think his chin holds up.
And yeah, that under half a round is really enticing me. Now that Will said it, that under half a round in the McKinney fight,
yeah.
I'm really liking that.
Join the train. The train.
This stuff's got me about to go watch Spider-Man, man. The OG Spider-Man movie.
I love it. Great movie too. Go back and watch that.
Shout out Tobey Maguire. Just to mention on the Sparring Sessions podcast, buddy. You made it.
Shout out William Dafoe.
William Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, you would know. Alrighty. Is that all you got, Jeannie?
That's all I got.
Wonderful. Well, thanks so much for coming on. And thank you all for watching. For Will, for me, for Jeannie. We'll see you later.
Peace.